and his own abilities as well. Khawar Ali.
Nurdled away for another single. Yes, you're talking about backing your men. Now, Zishan Maqsood's the skipper for this team at the moment, but so very often he looks at Khawar Ali and says, well, what do you think, brother?
Well, yes, it's always good to have 2 to 3 minds working in tandem for a team. That's what they've done. They've got Jatinder Singh at short mid-wicket, literally leaking runs in that area.
Nice bowling, nice bowling.
Forcing the batsman to play straight, and a single there. It's always good to have a think tank, because at some point in time, as an individual, you might just probably be getting it wrong, probably might just be under pressure, or it's just a bad day. Sometimes it's just a bad day. You can't point a finger at anything and say, this is wrong. No, it's just a bad day.
There was a muffled appeal, but then the keeper, Naseem Khushi, also realized he's got to feel the ball. Yes, you're absolutely right. Sometimes you're too close to the game that someone needs to press the zoom out button and then take a decision. And it's great to have 2 to 3 minds that you absolutely trust, despite one being the captain. There's nothing wrong in going to them.
Singles coming in comfortably in this over. As many as 5, and that will be the end of it. 13 overs gone at 66 for 4.
Cheese buttons was the name of koi cow roof but a bar. Manchi rasabala khaye cheese buttons bang aluth vela.
A quick look at the bowling card there. Kalimullah, 3 overs, 8 runs and a wicket. Fayaz Butt, 2 overs, 13 runs. A little expensive, but picked up 2 wickets. 2 in 2 for him. Zishan Maqsood, 2 of 11. Mohammad Nadeem, 2 overs, 7. 2 overs, 17 for Aqib Ilyas, the most expensive of the lot. And look at that. Khawar Ali, 2 overs, 8 runs and a wicket. What a bloke.
It's important from Zishan and Oman's point of view that Khawar Ali has started off well. He needs an extra pair of hands in terms of spin from the other end to keep it tight. Zishan trusted Aqib Ilyas. Aqib Ilyas went for a very good boundary indeed. Now he's gone back to pace.
Fayaz Butt, their main man in. Beautiful shot there on the full and maximum. The umpires now getting some exercise. The first 6 of the series and comes off for beauty.
6 runs added to the tally. The decibel levels go up in the ground as well. Stylish stroke. Just picks the length up early. Now there will be protection in that area in the shape of Kashyap Prajapati. But what a shot. It just makes the opponent captain think.
Pulled his length back. There's a single there. He throws at the wicketkeeper's end. I think that was on the wrong end. I think that should have thrown it at the non-striker's end.
There was Zishan Maqsood waiting at the non-striker's end, begging for a piece of leather. The first one was on. He was on the back foot as well and had a little bit more ground to cover. I would have made it easily. It's just that story of throwing at the wrong end, indeed.
What Fayaz Butt did in that delivery was he pulled his length back. The first one was a slightly fuller. Gave Fernando that opportunity to go for that massive flick. A much better delivery. Big fast bowlers tend to require a delivery or two to get back to rhythm after they come back break. And if that is when the batsmen take charge, they put additional pressure on the fast bowlers. First ball, hit for a boundary, the pressure is all on the bowler.
Yes, sets the tone nicely for the over, doesn't it? Now, not only that 6, what happened then was he tapped and ran 2. So just ensuring that all denominations are covered, that the fielders are always on their toes. Neither 2 back at the boundary rope, nor treading forward. He just had to wait for the ball to arrive, didn't he? He was early with that shot, but he said, well, I'm going to offer that shot anyway.
Well, that's right. I mean, he put up his bat as if someone's going to take a picture of his. Pose for the picture, and then, okay, let me play the shot. That's how it went. 6-2-0-1. That's what this over reads. 2 more deliveries to go. The umpire has called it as 1 for the over. So one thing for sure, that Shanaka, who's now on strike, can be relieved and expect maybe a fuller end delivery.
When we see that drive come through, that he so often plays. It's a genuine waft. Fayaz's putt before this game was itchy to go. It was itchy to get some game time. Was recuperating for a while. Then was watching his teammates, was warming benches, but wasn't in the side. Today gets game time and makes it count. Your thoughts?
Well, in international cricket, you get an opportunity, you ensure that you make it big. Because you miss that opportunity, you'll be just bringing in water bottles for the rest of the team. This was a statement that actually I lifted straight from a young lad, a 19-year-old boy. I'll come to that. Backward square leg in action. A single. And that'll be the end of the over. So 14 overs gone. It's 76 for 4.
Manchi rasa malakaye onion biscuits dang alut vela.
Cover continue 14 overs, 76 for 4. Sri Lanka after being asked to bat by Zishan Maqsood. He's gone for the big shot. First ball and clears the fence with ease. Yes, the trend of going for the first ball big hit continues.
That was a delivery that was asking, that was begging to be hit. A fuller delivery. Enough time for the batsman to plan his shot, and that's what he does. Bang! Slotted straight into those stands, which soon will be seated by some decorated members of the viewing community for the T20 World Cup games. All along the carpet. Again, very textbook. Hit the first ball for a boundary. Next ball, take a single, get off strike.
Yes, makes it 7 of the first 2, and the bowler does get to bowl to a new batsman now. Doesn't feel much settled. Yes, you were talking about a 19-year-old lad telling you that you've got to be absolutely spot on when you get the opportunity. Grab it with both hands. Otherwise, you're going to be carrying water bottles.
Well, yes, this young lad is a left-handed batsman who, stealing a single there, literally, who plays for Rajasthan Royals, opens the batting for them. He represented the Mumbai touring side when they came here to play against Oman. I'm talking about...
Can I put my hand up and guess?
Go ahead.
Look how obedient I am at the moment. The way you unfurled those little cues to get to Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Well, that's right.
Made me feel like school days again.
Well, almost a schoolboy, Yashasvi Jaiswal himself. The highest scoring team member of the Indian national side in the Under-19 World Cup, scored 400 runs in that outing. When he came here to play for Mumbai, he said that I want to score every single time I come out to bat because the way the Mumbai side is decorated heavily with superstars, I'll end up just carrying water bottles, and I haven't come this far, this long, putting in all those hard yards to carry bottles for my team. I want to play.
What a thought. And what great clarity at that age, isn't it? Yeah, I've carried a lot of water bottles indeed. Ask me the thickness, ask me the ingredients. I'll probably be able to tell you back in India. 15 overs gone. 86 for 4. Wow, this is HitingSri. Amazing.
Body life like a breakup, karagana salsa na tanaba. One vela like salsa rasa takat fiero penaba. Manchi rasa bala kaya salsa biscuits dang alut vela.
He's called for the first one really quickly, but yes, it's only going to be one. Kashyap Prajapati was swooping onto the ball. Change in voice here. Joining me is Mr. Sundaram. Warm welcome.
Thank you once again. Are we seeing a slight shift and a change in momentum after the last couple of overs?
Absolutely. The batsmen of Sri Lanka have decided it's the right time to get some momentum back in their favour, attacking the first part of the over, sending a signal to the opposition, and then capitalising on the over. They don't mind milking the bowling thereafter, but one boundary ball they're ensuring in almost every over in the past few overs. Fernando's quietly moved on to 45 in excellent time, just 43 deliveries. That's going only one way. Over the fence, 50 comes up in style for Avishka Fernando. What an innings when it mattered the most. The scoreboard read a miserable story when he walked in. He ensured he changes that.
Brilliant shot, top shot. This is a shot which is worth going miles to see. Swept beautifully for a 6. And clearly the momentum slowly but surely shifting Sri Lanka's way. Are we still on for 160?
A little bit more, maybe if he hangs around then. More than 160. Yeah, 2 boundaries and 2 magnificent sixes. He's been a joy to watch. And then, of course, warming the coach's cockles with shots like these, stealing 1s and 2s when it matters the most.
That's a beautifully run two. Last 3 overs we have seen that, the batter has gone for a boundary and immediately picked up a single or 2. Keeps the pressure on. And always, when you hit a boundary of the first ball, it just makes that much more difficult for the bowler.
He's also chosen a very safe area. The keeper was confused if he has to get there. That means another backup had to arrive. Almost walked into that shot, isn't it? Was in the air for a brief moment.
And I think the mid-wicket pretty much is on. They are almost liberally giving away a couple of runs on the mid-wicket.
Maqsood is a very miserly Maqsood, is what they call him today. He's a little liberal. A very good delivery. Didn't give it much air this time around. Batsman doesn't mind that single once again. A 6 in the early part of the over, then milking the bowling thereafter.
97 for 4 after 16.
Manchi rasa bala kaya savory nuts dang alut vela.
The batting out coming up for you.
Yeah. Young Pathum Nisanka was the first. Now, it was Dinesh Chandimal the first to go. First ball duck for him. Pathum Nisanka hung around for a while. Then Avishka Fernando. 54 of 47. He's the one who's held the innings together. Along with Dasun Shanaka, the skipper. 17 of 12. Banuka Rajapaksha, while he lasted, took a bit of time to get going, but didn't do so, for he fell for 15. That boundary early on, and then a magical shot was flying towards his right. Despite that, it went for 4. This was by far the styliest, if that's a word, the most stylish. A sense of style has also come by as the innings has progressed. Isn't it? Some textbook shots and then some stylish strokes.
Really held the innings together. Marvelous innings, and Sri Lanka so very badly needed this to take the score to 97. At one time, it was looking a really difficult task for the Sri Lankan team.
Mohammad Nadeem is following the batsman on that occasion. He's been so good to be the first change bowler. Even in the 50-over format, would operate in the middle overs, ensure that the wickets is something that he kept chipping. Today it's a different role for him.
Neil, co-commentator, was talking about character and attitude.
Right, mindset.
Mindset, last 4 overs. How much of that character, attitude, mindset Oman team badly needs to bring it and try and see if they can contain to a much lower total than 160.
Yes, the wicket did fall, but thereafter Fernando and Shanaka have batted freely. They put the pressure on Oman. Courtesy shots of this kind. Kavarelli will have too much to do if he has to get there in time. Boundary.
Width on offer. Again, beautifully played. And the momentum keeps shifting back to Sri Lanka. This is a lovely shot.
It's from the half-centurion Fernando. Moment he saw width, his eyes went agog.
The 100 comes up.
Avishka Fernando scoring the majority of the runs for Sri Lanka today.
Yeah, almost close to about 58, 59%, yeah. And we can look forward to some very exciting 4 overs coming up now.
Again, a boundary earlier part of the over. It sets the tone nicely. What do you think this delivery is going to be? It's also set the battle up nicely. This could be trouble. No, it's trouble for the fielder in the deep, because now Sandeep God hasn't been his best on the field today. It's the second time.
Not only dropped a catch, but gave away 6 for that.
It's going to pinch him a lot. Fernando thought, yes, that's it. I didn't get the elevation. It's Sandeep God in the deep who puts it down. For his standards, it's definitely a drop catch.
I fail to understand, why would you actually come inside and stand, when you're supposed to be on the boundary line? This could have been an easy catch, or you at least take, the start when the bowler is starting. It's too difficult actually to run back and take a catch.
Yes, it's difficult to run back and take a catch for sure. The boundary awareness that you're talking about. Sometimes I do feel when the fielder in the deep realizes that there isn't much elevation on offer, then he tends to get a little easy, go a little easy. That complacency can set in. Your thoughts on that?
But we are talking about the last 4 overs, the very good chances of, the batsman completely going absolute amok. So I think once you're on the boundary line, it's better that you stay
And not hanging around, scoring runs at a good pace, 18 of 13, when the batsman at the other end is going for big shots.
Yeah, but 10 and over from here on probably will be about 139, 140. So, yeah, I mean, if Oman is able to restrict Sri Lanka to 145, I still think that it will be a good total for them to chase down.
Sri Lanka play a lot of all-rounders. Decided not to throw. The batsman decided not to dive or drag the bat. Single at the end. 17 overs gone. 1-1-0 for 4.
Cheese rasatayalu set smiley bedanaba. Cheese buttons rasadanu makoi kau rus patapenaba. Manchi rasamalakaye cheese buttons dang alut vela.
$110 for 4. A quick drink and probably a message to the batters, trying to take stock. The crowd slowly but surely building up to what looks like to be another beautiful stadium in this part of the world. Some amazing change in the infrastructure in the last 1 month. The light towers have come up, and we'll probably see the light towers in action tomorrow and day after.
Yes, we will. All through the transition, I was covering games as the World Cricket League, CWC League 2. Yeah, ICC Cricket World Cup League 2. And all through that transition, it was still very surprising because we used to finish a game at night, come back next morning, and then 2 stands would have been erected. Finish that particular game, come back a day later, the stadium looked so different. The pace at which the construction's going on is just incredible. And all for Cricket World Cup, T20 World Cup that's around the corner. Well, that's another easy shot that he's just smashed away for 6. There's a sense of ease when this batsman bats. Trust me, cricket is not that easy. Batting, lesser.
On the leg side, flicked it beautifully for a 6. What a shot.
Today he's writing a thesis on flick. Avishka Fernando.
You talked about the way the construction has happened. Definitely a sense of urgency. And the Sri Lankan batsman now showing a sense of urgency to try and catch up to that 145 to 160 range.
Yeah, would be a very good game then. 145 to 160 would be a brilliant game indeed. And is it asking for too much, or would you think Fernando can sense 3 figures from here? He has the time, he has the shots, he has the form.
Just 28 to go, 4 more shots like that, that's all you need. Just you need to just translate that into 4 shots, yeah? Or 4.5.
Oh, he's been taking the pace off that one. Put down by Kashyap Prajapati. Kalimullah is screaming. Catching hasn't been the best suit for Oman today. First Jatinder, now Kashyap Prajapati. Usually safe hands today, all buttered up.
I would like to seriously recommend that please stop reverse cup. It's just not working.
Kalimullah was pleading. And then Sandeep got as well. There was another drop catch. Kashyap Kumar Prajapati dropping a catch in the deep.
To me, that's a straightforward catch. Oman could ill afford dropping these kind of catches to a set batsman.
Yes, the idea is to take the pace off the ball. Request Avishka Fernando to not just provide placement but power as well.
Definitely the batter probably expected that to be declared a white ball. So maybe he moved too much, or not sure whether he hit the pad. But what the consistency that we see is that for every over the first delivery has actually gone for a boundary.
Yeah, or the third in a couple of overs back. But yes, the first part of the over, the ball had an appointment rope with a boundary. Appointment with a boundary rope at least once. Kalimullah is taking the pace off. It's not the Kalimullah that streams in. This could be another opportunity. No, will land safely. Directed, and now will they go for the single? Not very often do you see directed becoming a bane.
Thankfully, they didn't go for the second. But yeah, this pretty much fell in the no man's land. And Oman fielders definitely would want these direct hits to come to play when it is really needed,
Yes, and also take those catches as well. Cling on to them. The ball fell in no man's land. Nobody was really bothered about it because when it did come to the fielder, they didn't take it either.
The coach is going to have a very, very tough conversation, I'm sure.
Yes, today they will. Mr. Dilip Mendes is never scolding them. Oh, now this is back of the hand. All this Kalimullah was reserving for the T20. Didn't see him bowl this even once in the 50-over format. Game after game was looking to bowl quicker and quicker. Now he's getting into the T20 mode. The first spell was about pace. The second spell was about How slow is it going to be?
Just make it a little bit difficult for the batsman to probably reach out or go for a complete swing. So clearly his pace is actually helping. So yeah, the game is changing. The faster bowlers are bowling slower ones, the slower ones slowing down.
And then there was Rajat Bhatia.
Absolutely.
I was interviewing him, and at least I think a year back, and he was telling me that it's about backing your strengths no matter what you play, and my strength was a slower delivery. I knew I was not going to clock 140. It's one thing to slow down the game as a captain. It's quite another to slow the game down through deliveries like these. In this over, most of the balls were slower deliveries after the first one disappeared for a 6. 18 overs gone. Sri Lanka 120 for 4.
Cheese rasatayalu sa taka smiley badanaba. Cheese buttons rasadanu na makoy ka rupa sa pinaba. Manchi rasabalakaye cheese buttons dang alut vela.
This has been the bowling effort for Oman so far. 6 bowlers used. Kalimullah is bowled out. His 4 overs has picked up an important wicket early on, Ahmed Fayaz, but he's been magnificent with 1 more over up his sleeve. He's already picked up 2. Zishan Maqsood with 1 more up his sleeve. Has been a little expensive today. Mohammad Nadeem yet to find his first. Aqib Ilyas was tried for a couple of overs. Then Khabar Ali has 1 more over to go, and he's already picked up a wicket for 18 runs. Follow wickets, 1 for 7, 2 for 7. Sri Lanka were in trouble by the time they ended up with 21 for 3.
Absolutely. The last wicket fell when the score was 51. So these two have really put on a very strong partnership.
Shanaka launches a missile, and that'll sail over in no time. The assault has begun.
What a beautiful shot. Once again, magnificent. Right out of the park, and much to the delight of the Sri Lankan fans. Probably you need a new ball, because I don't think they're going to recover that. It's pretty much gone outside the stadium.
Yes, there were donkeys treading there, and that piece of leather would be found probably day after tomorrow.
I don't mind actually giving a look on my way back out.
Yes, we can ask Shanaka to sign it for you as well.
What a beautifully timed shot, I mean, the moment it hit the bat, the sound said it, yeah, it's a 6. Sometimes I feel, for that kind of shots which goes the length, much beyond, not a bad idea to probably give a couple of runs more, for the effort and the shot. Absolutely. It deserved a 12.
I tell you what, you find that ball, will give you 2 more. But I'll tell you what, it's one of those shots which not only the coach will feel proud of, but the director as well. He's got a lovely person at ball follow today. He's been given a lot of wipes.
Yep. Yeah. At least sports is back in action, after all this 1.5 years of complete quietness.
Yes, we're still getting used to those bubbles and everything, but good thing is the cricket is back.
That's true. That's true. And these kind of shots, it gives so much of joy to an onlooker. What a wonderful shot.
Papa Ray will burst into action if one of those is followed up by a big shot again. That's taken the shoulder, but is also travelling. 6 it is. 2 6s back to back.
140 looks a much lesser total now. Edged over the third man for another 6.
This Sri Lankan innings will be remembered for the way they've fought back into this game. 21 for 3, didn't lose hope. Fantastic Fernando alongside Dashun Shanaka, bringing this game into Sri Lanka's territory again. 132 for 4. Are we in for a thrilling assault towards the end? Nadeem is looking for answers, not the ball back in his hand. Yes, those arms will spread. That's not something that the bowler wants to see when he turns back.
Pressure. 2 consecutive 6s. The pressure is clearly back on Nadeem. And yes, this is the time for him to show his character.
I tell you what, it's been a while since Nadeem has been treated with disdain as well. It's been all comfortable games today. Oman is getting way out of its comfort zone. Yes, they were testing games, the previous ones as well. Today in T20 up against Sri Lanka, pinning them to the mat, and then Sri Lanka bouncing back has been a great script for the game so far.
Definitely, the Sri Lankan team, the middle order has come to the party. But it will also, and this also augurs well for Oman, to see that how they can probably handle pressure a lot better. Having got those initial breakthrough and with the score at 51 for 4. If those catches had gone their way, Oman was pretty much in the game.
Absolutely, 2 more wickets would have fallen, new men at the crease. The game would have been a different one altogether.
No one backing up, neither the bowler was backing up. Clearly there was an opportunity for a run out, but goes a begging.
Yeah, there will be a separate chapter called fielding that will be discussed once this game ends for Oman.
But this is not how it started. The first 4 overs, we could see the intensity, some great fielding. Suddenly, probably some sense of complacency, dropped catches, catches going outside the boundary, run out, not even being, there was absolutely no effort to get back to the stumps. Yeah, some homework to do.
I wanted to access the gap better, hence was going down the track. In the end, it becomes a comfortable single, but the batsman was looking for more on that occasion. Avishka Fernando, he's been excellent. Remember, once you land in Oman, there is some acclimatizing to do as well. He's played a lot of cricket in a lot of heat, Avishka Fernando, coming from Sri Lanka, but coming here, getting such a good innings under your belt when your team needed it the most, just sets the series up nicely for him.
It really augurs well for him, and extremely happy for him that he has been able to build this innings beautifully. And follows up with another 6. Yes, it is. 22 of this over.
The spaces look wider when he pierces the gap like that. No fielder moved. Everyone's playing statue. It had fetch written all over it once it left the bat. Mohammad Nadeem's got a lot of thinking to do. He's been taken to the cleaners today. 42 in his 4.
142 for 4 after 19.
Body life like a breakup, karagana salsa na tanaba. One vela like a salsa rasa takat kiro penaba. Manchi rasa wala kaya salsa biscuits dang alut bela.
142 for 4 with the last over coming up. What do we have in store? Let's see if my pitch expert's prediction of 160 comes true.
It's the first time someone's used those words for me, pitch expert.
I want it to come true, to be honest with you.
I said 160 because the surface looked like 161. We'll have a great game now with this assault. 160 is on the cards. More than that. Even the short ball tactics is not working at the moment. Batsmen are comfortably picking up singles and twos, hooking the ball with ease.
The run rate has steadily climbed from, it was almost around 4 when this after the 5th over mark, and gone up to almost close to 7.5. 2 runs off that delivery. Shanaka, no one realized he actually moved to 35 of 20, whilst this entire carnage from Fernando was continuing. And brilliant support from the other end.
What an excellent inning Shanaka is playing. He's timed the assault to perfection. Now the cheeky shots are also unfurling. Mohammad Naseem not getting it in the middle of his gloves, allowing that single. Good work by Fayaz to eventually put in the dive to stop runs off his own bowling.
Always a difficult switch is always difficult. You have to get it so right. But thankfully he got a single and giving the opportunity to Fernando to try and go for his shots once again and see if he can get closer to his 100.
Is that on the cards as well? Is that the icing on the cake for Sri Lanka? A very good finish with Fernando lifting his bat, taking his helmet off.
3 sixes is what we are looking for.
Didn't have the pace to play with. Fernando will pick up a single. He's kicking himself. No, there could have been more on offer had he middled it better.
.146 for 4 after 19.3 with 3 more deliveries to go. And so far, Zishan has kept the batters quiet. Just 4 runs. Can he finish it off nicely?
And that Fayaz bouncer is already been utilized. The first ball, remember. The slow ball Yorker, which has been picked up and posted over long on. Magical hit.
As good as it gets. As good as it gets. 152. Beautifully executed 6. Truly magical shot. Wonderful.
There's a sense of irreverence for long on and long off in this game.
They could hardly move, they were just ball watching, absolutely no chance. And it's not that it cleared the rope just barely, it pretty much, went way back.
Fayaz's answer to the previous shot would be another slower delivery, which has been hit even further. 6 more.
Raining. We had a cyclone a couple of days back. Now we have the 6th cyclone.
Yeah, the Shanaka storm has come to Oman. We're talking about Fernando reaching 3 figures. No, Shanaka is looking for a 50. Around the corner it is. 2 sixes back to back, almost camping on the back foot, setting himself for a slower delivery. 158 for 4. Shanaka 3 away from a very well-made half-century, coming out of the shadows of Fernando initially. Putting in the hard yards, letting Fernando bloom to a better innings and then taking the mantle of playing the big shots. Shanaka has been playing an excellent knock.
These two have played so well, complemented each other and playing shots at the right time, rebuild the innings and finishing it off beautifully. Just the last ball coming up. Are we going to see another 6 and a 50?
Slight change in field then. Fine leg comes in, becomes short fine leg. Is the flick on then? He's gone with a straight bat and he's gone for a very safe area. Will finish with a boundary, will finish with his hand lifted up, his bat lifted up for a 50. Fantastic finish for Sri Lanka as they reach 162 and are requesting Oman to just go 163 if you want to be pronounced winners. This has been one of the best knocks from both the batsmen who finished it off for Sri Lanka.
Take a ball, Shanaka. What a shot. What a way to finish the innings. 162. That's the tall order, given the fact that where they were at the end of the 5th over or even after 10.
21 for 3. You say 162 for 4. At the end of 20 overs, you'll take it with both hands. Shanaka has been excellent towards the end. Fernando has been excellent throughout.
This has been a tremendous recovery from Sri Lanka. Clearly showing what they are made of. A brilliant 5th wicket partnership of almost 110 odd runs. And bringing Sri Lanka back into the game. But for those dropped catches, yeah.
Absolutely, those drop catches would have taken off a few runs from this. Now, these are the wickets. Fayaz started off well, picked up Chandimal without scoring. Then Mendes soon found out that it's difficult to play that Yorker first up. Catcher was the call, but who was the question? Because Kavarelli wasn't tall enough, as Sundaram sir put it. Then some brilliant shots started to unfurl from the bat of the right-hander. 9 out of 10 times that would have been taken. Then came the Jatinder opportunity. Reverse cup is not been their best friend today for Oman. Then this was the era where the run making was done in singles and twos, and occasionally the boundaries were hit. Then towards the end was all assault. Kavarelli was brilliant with the ball in hand in the first over. But thereafter it was a different story. Fayaz started to go for runs. Every bowler started to go for runs. And the batsmen were able to time their shots to perfection in the early part of the over and nurtle the singles and twos and milk the bowling thereafter. That's been Sri Lanka's approach with the bat in hand.
Nisanka scored 8 of 14. Chandimal, first ball, duck. And so was Mendes, followed him immediately. But what an innings by Fernando and Shanaka. 83 of 59, well supported by 51 of 24 by Shanaka. Rajapaksha scored 15 of 21. 162 for 4, just 5 extras of the 20 overs. This has been a brilliant recovery from where Sri Lanka was.
Yes, the 7 bowlers used by Oman to fill their 20 overs. Kalimullah picked up a wicket in his quarter of 4. Was looking good, and Ahmed Fayaz, but getting a game today, making an impact. A pick of the bowlers with 2 wickets, slightly expensive towards the end. We'll have to work on that with the World Cup around the corner. Zishan Maqsood going wicketless after a long time. Mohammad Nadeem in his 4 overs went for a lot of runs as well. Aki Villiers was given just a couple of overs to see if he's turning the ball, if he's troubling the batsman. Wasn't to be, and Kavarelli doesn't bowl out today, but does pick up a wicket in his 3 overs.
This has also tested the Sri Lankan middle order. So we'll take a break and we'll be back with the second innings once we resume.
Onion biscuits දැන් අලුත් වෙලා cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක smiley බෙදනවා cheese buttons රස දැනුනම කොයි කවුරුත් මට වෙනවා මංචි රස බලකායේ cheese buttons දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Then Oman is Sri Lanka අතර පළවෙනි T20 තරගය ඔන්න දවසේදී ආරම්භ වුණා. ඔමානයේදී පළවෙනි ඉනිම ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායම ක්‍රීඩා කරලා ලකුණු 162ක් ලබා ගන්නට හැකියාව ලැබුණා. කඩලු 4ක් දැවි. අසම ඉන්නවා මාත් එක්ක ක්‍රික් වයිබ්ස් මැදිරියේ දින හරි TV සහ OS TV එකතු වෙන්න ඔබට පුළුවන් මේ තරගාවලියම නරඹන්නට අපි සූදානම් මේ තරගාවලිය ඔබ වෙත ගෙනෙන්නට හරි TV සහ OS TV එකතු වෙන්න. අසම කොහොමද දකින්නේ විශේෂම ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමේ ප්‍රතිකරණය?
ඇතරම මුලදී යම් අසාර්ථකත්වයක් තිබුණත් මම හිතන්නේ අපේ ක්‍රීඩා වලින්ට විශාල බලාපොරොත්තු ගෙන දෙමින් මම හිතන්නේ කාලයක් තිස්සේ ලකුණු අතර නොසිටි කණ්ඩායමේ නායක දසුන් ශානක අද විශිෂ්ට ඉනිමක් ක්‍රීඩා කරා. ඒ වගේම අවිෂ්ක ෆර්නාන්දු මම හිතන්නේ 20 තරඟවල ඔහුගේ යම් දුර්වලතාවයක් තිබුණා. දකුණු අප්‍රිකානු තරඟාවලියේ ඔහු කණ්ඩායමෙන් 20 තරඟ සඳහා ඉවත් කරපවා තිබුණා. නමුත් ඔහු ඉතාමත් අපි කියන්නේ වගකීම් සහගතව විශේෂයෙන්ම කඩලු 3ක් ලකුණු 21ක් වගේ බිඳ වැටලා තිබෙද්දී මම හිතන්නේ ඉතාමත් හිමින් තමයි ඉනිම ගොඩනගලා අවසානයේදී මම හිතන්නේ අපි කවුරුත් හිතුවේ නැහැ ලකුණු 160ක් මම හිතන්නේ 130ක් 140ක තිබුණු ටාගට් එකක් අන්තිමට 160ක් දක්වා ගෙන යන්න මම හිතන්නේ මේක තමයි මම 20 තරඟයකදී වෙන්න පුළුවන් දේ. දසුන් ශානක වගේ ක්‍රීඩකෙක් ලකුණු අතරට ආවම විශේෂයෙන්ම පන්දු 24කදී අද ලකුණු 50ක් ලබා ගත්තා. 6 පාරවල් 5ක් එක්ක. එතකොට අවිෂ්ක ෆර්නාන්දු මම හිතන්නේ ඔහු සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එක් දින තරඟවල කරන්නේත් මේක තමයි කණ්ඩායමේ ඉනිම ගොඩනගන එක. ඉතින් අද වෙනසක් දැක්කා. ඔහු මම හිතන්නේ ආරම්භක පිටිකරුවෙක් ලෙස ආවෙත් නෑ. මම දන්නේ මේක ඉදිරියේදී එන අත්අදා බැලීමක්ද කියලා විශේෂම ලෝක කුසලානේදී. නමුත්
ඔබ විශ්වාස කරනවා දැන් විශේෂයෙන්ම දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි අවිෂ්කව දකින්නේ අසම් ආරම්භක පිටිකරුව හැටනේ. හැබැයි අද වන් ඩවුන් තමයි එන්නේ. දැන් මේක ඔබ හිතන දෙක පැත්තකින් ඔබට තියෙන අත්දැකීම් සහ ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩා මාධ්‍යවේදික හැටියට විශේෂයෙන්ම මේක සාර්ථක උපක්‍රමයක් වේවිද එළඹෙන ලෝක කුසලාන තරගාවලියේදී?
විශේෂයෙන්ම මම හිතන්නේ අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව කවුරු හරි උත්සාහ කරනවා නම් යම් ක්‍රීඩකෙක්ට පන්දු අර විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් බැට් කරන්න අනිත් ක්‍රීඩකයන්ට පන්දුර වේගෙන් පහර දෙන්න කියලා මම අවිෂ්ක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පෙන්වලා තියෙනවා. ඔහු මේ දැන් ඉන්න අවිෂ්ක ෆර්නාන්දු මේ සාමාන්‍ය පන්දු අර 4-5ක් හිමින් ක්‍රීඩා කරලා ඊට පස්සේ ලකුණු අතරට යනවා. සමහරවිට මේක මම දැන් අලුත් සලස්ම විශේෂයෙන්ම කුසල් ජනිත් පෙර කණ්ඩායමට එනවා අනිවාර්යෙන්. ඔහු ආරම්භක ප්‍රතිකර හැටියට ක්‍රීඩා කරනවා. ඉතින් ඔහුත් සමග වෙනත් ක්‍රීඩකෙක් යොමු කරලා අංක 3 ස්ථානයේ වෙනත් ක්‍රීඩකෙක් නැති හින්දා මොකද බානුක රාජපක්ෂ ලකුණු අතර නැහැ. දිනේෂ් චන්දිමල් ලකුණු අතර නැහැ. එතකොට යම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා මේ